So I think we can just sit and chat about what's happened so far. As you said, Boney, all of these players playing for a share of the prize pool. All 4 of the finalists guaranteed at least €30. It is €30 for first place, for fourth place, not for first place.
First
place.
As well.
yeah, we reversed everything. So €30 for fourth place. You move up to €60 if you can lock in third. It's €110 for second place, and then first place walking away with a cool €175. And of course, shout out to all of the mappers of not just these 5 maps, but all of the Season 3 maps in general. It's been an incredible season of Mini RPG of the week. But the 6 mappers, technically, who worked on these maps, as Gymnasium has 2 mappers credited, each of them walked away with €25, having been voted as one of the 5 maps for this finale. So it's really nice. I mean, I personally really like having a competition where we are able to say thank you to the mappers as well, because obviously competition doesn't happen without maps to play it on. And we've been blessed at Mini RPG of the week to have so many excellent mappers contribute their talents.
Yeah, I mean, to have a unique, fun map every single week to discover, to play on, and to compete on. It's not something you come by quite easily, but it's really just due to the support and the people who want to contribute to the Mini RPG of the week is what makes this become reality, alongside obviously the players who come in every week to play, the fans who come in to watch the stream, and obviously the people running the stream as well, right? Doing a phenomenal job to make sure, especially now with new and improved fights between 2 players, not today, we had yesterday, to really amp up the production level. I mean, I am also still looking forward to, what is to come in the future, because, I mean, there is still one big thing happening in April.
Yeah, we are very much on the road into LAN at this point. Mini RPG of the week Ultimate coming in, about 5 or 6 months' time. There is still a chance to maybe book in a free spot at that one. The top 3 players from Mini RPG of the week over the course of its lifetime will get invited spots guaranteed. At the moment, it is kind of looking like Yannick and Hazard are running away with that, and over the course of 76 weekly editions, including Edition 0, the test edition, both of them have won 10 each, which is... It's kind of crazy. Like, that is 20 out of 76 editions won by them. They've won a third, essentially, of all of the Mini RPG of the weeks between them, which, just really impressive consistency from the 2 of them.
I was about to say, especially with the latter matches that we've had these past couple of weeks, going up to 100 players, people barely eking their way into the servers, but to still show off such dominance, I think it just speaks for itself. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even if they somehow miss out on this top 3, which would be ridiculous. I'd be surprised to not see them this April. And I mean, at the same time, I hope to see what will be going down then in April, but that's not here or there. We still have fall coming up, winter's happening, right? Plenty of Mini RPGs to be played.
Season 4 of Mini RPG of the week to be played in the meantime. It's going to be sick. And yeah, I will note as well that, obviously only the top 3 players will be getting guaranteed, invites, will be getting that entry fee waived. But as things stand, the plan is for the entry fee to be like €5. So absolutely, if people are thinking about going, it's not going to be hard. There are higher entry fees because you can get merch as well. I'm just going to fully shill for Mini RPG of the week. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies. I love the hoodie. The hoodie is genuinely sick as hell. I really recommend the hoodie. But we got test editions of the merch, and I've been wearing my hoodie a lot. It's really nice. But yeah, definitely do keep an eye out as more information is released about tickets, and it's in Compiègne, which is about an hour outside Paris, so in terms of travel, shouldn't be too hard to get to for a lot of people, Get down to Paris, hop on a train out, and off you go. And I'm sure they'll probably have solved the bed bug problem by then as well.
I somehow was unaware of this, but I'm positive they'll work out the kinks, they'll work out the wrinkles and the bugs along the way, right? They'll just do a bug fix. They'll just do a bug fix or 2, and you'll be right as rain. You'll be sleeping like a baby, and getting ready for some Trackmania action over the weekend. I do enjoy me some weekend tournaments myself. It's sometimes tough, right, to get these things going. A lot of work goes into those, a lot of hands on deck, and obviously being on a location, you all of a sudden have this different type of infrastructure to deal with compared to just sitting at home and connecting to a server, if you will.
Yeah. Boney, we're getting close to game time.
We are.
Things are about to kick off. Any final predictions before we head into this final? Look, we're both going to say yes. Scandir probably wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Who are you backing for second place here?
So like first to fourth. I mean,
I'll go
just
first if you want.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Scandir, Yannex, Artis, Heave. He's been playing great, but I kind of said the same thing going into the semi-final. I just do think there is room to exploit in Heave's performance so far today. And while Ice and Raceland couldn't quite do it, I do kind of back Yannex and Artis of being capable of making that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit reversed in that. So I had Scandir and Yannex in my mind first and second.
Yeah.
But then Heave, Artis. But again, it just feels like such a toss-up, right? It's so hard for me to just say, oh yeah, that's gonna be it. The only one I feel most confident about is Scandir. But all the other three, honestly, in my book, could easily go in second place. And then it's the question of what happened on the other side of the bracket. Did they have enough pace to actually beat Scandir if it wasn't for the fact that he is on his own side? I mean, this is where we'll see these meetings occur. And especially with reverse cup mode, it's a bit of a different way of approaching the match as well, right? It's really a matter of just don't get eliminated instead of just, go for the win. Because of that, things will be, perhaps a different approach. Perhaps we'll see Heave, for example, take that different line on Throne, where he does go for the outside into the inside line that he has been skipping entirely during the semifinals.
You gotta think that at this point in the finals, you have to start looking for every little bit of pace you can, especially in this reverse cup mode. Trying to get as high up that leaderboard every round, pretty important as you struggle to keep away from 0 points. It's going to be so exciting. Thank you very much for the raid, by the way, Marius. Welcome, viewers, to the grand final of Mini RPG of the Week. Season 3 finale. We are, as you may already be aware, playing Reverse Cup this time around. So quarterfinals rounds, semi-finals Cup mode, grand finals is going to be Reverse Cup mode, which does mean that this is going to get down to the 2 final players in this tournament. 1 round eventually will decide our winner. And hopefully it's close all the way down, but if anyone's going to run away with it, it's going to be Scandir.
Yeah. It's going to be a hard-fought battle, definitely. And perhaps it's, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see 1 or 2 players, barely holding on by the skin of their teeth, being on that 0 point, but, barely staying in, just getting good enough performances to, draw out the match, draw out this situation, and perhaps have someone else fall down before them. But I mean, it's they've been warmed up plenty now.
World record on Throne.
Yeah, just it's fine. Just do the thing. Happen? I mean, at this point as well, it would have been a world record if it wasn't for the fact Scandir.
This time Scandir did actually manage to drive a world record. Tauros had first place on Throne until a minute ago, when in warm-up Scandir drove a world record and now has the world record on that map. So, that is kind of silly. I think everyone on that server just in disbelief. RT's just going, what the hell is happening over there? I'm meant to drive against this guy right now? I will also clarify, the points repartition at the moment with first to fourth. It is actually worse to get 2 third places in this format at the moment. First place loses 0, fourth place loses 10, and third place will lose you 7 each time. So coming third twice in a row will lose you minus 14. A first and a fourth will only lose you minus 10. So there definitely is a bit of an advantage to be trying to get your firsts and seconds as often as possible. Now, I believe that point repartition will change once the first player gets eliminated. I think it goes to like 3, 6, and 9 then. But we'll see. Once we get there, we'll have to eliminate someone first.
Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? We started with 16, we're left with 4, and after this match, we know who is the number 1 of the season. And I'm just hoping, whatever we didn't see on the other side, will cause Skander to be like, oh shit, that's how fast they're driving on that. So okay, I guess I
gotta step it up a little bit. I will say, I think given we have seen Skander drive like, you know, multiple world records essentially so far today, it's unlikely that the pace coming out of the other side of the bracket is going to be all that surprising. But who knows? Maybe it will be. Either way, I believe we are very close now to getting into match. Just a brief delay as the players readied up, but they appear to all be ready. We will be kicking things off on Castle of Histo. Remember, -0 for first place. As Mario says, yeah, this is a slightly different points repartition. This is the one that was used actually in the British and Irish Pro League that was run recently, where they were also using Reverse Cup. Really no coincidence there. We have just stolen the person who set up their servers and made him set up ours as well. Thank you very much, BozBez, for providing us a server for this one. But it does mean that first place does come with a big advantage. Just pinning your score, not dropping any further. It's real good. We should be seeing players really push for that here in early rounds.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things, right? To the usual setup, even first place somehow punishes you in a way, right? Because you're still losing points. But instead, it's no. You get in first place. You take no damage, if you will.
Yeah.
So you'll be a-okay. You'll be safe. So it very much does the reward. It feels more of a reward to not take a hit compared to your fellow players. This time, Heave one to kick things off quite harsh. We'll be getting a haymaker for his troubles, 2 seconds behind, and it's a fight for first place between Skander, Yanix, and Artisa. Skander doing what he is doing, just doing Skander things at this point.
Yeah, managing to pick up speed. Now, Yanix does have great speed up that hill and should be just about in front of Skander. It is incredibly close, though, to kick off our first round here. This is what we expected. This is what we wanted from our grand final. 3 cars within a couple of tenths, and Skander now really being pushed for the first time today on pure pace. Again, it's only 1 round. I don't want to overanalyze it. I don't want to read too much into it. But at the moment, this is real close, and it's going to come down to the finish line.
Let's see how the balance beam goes. Yeah, it's Skander actually with the attack. Overtakes Yanix and Artis barely staying in front. Wow, Yanix, I suppose, didn't feel too good about that turn. I mean, it is somewhat of a blind turn as well. Going for that left-hander, getting your wheels onto the beam. There's not a lot of time to think about, and Skander being paid off in spade for the risk that he took. Getting a second place, so only 4 points lost instead of the 7 that he was perhaps in the situation of doing. But Heave taking the biggest blow of them all, first to 90 points.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we're only starting with 100 points. It's only 3 rounds per map. This is going to be a relatively quick and brutal final. A real mud fight, this one. As, coming forth is immediately 10% of your points just wiped out. And there is Artis full into the rope on the side of that bridge and is going to be dropping a long way behind. Skander this time around sitting in first, and Heave looking for a bit of redemption. Currently in second, but wheel to wheel with Yanix.
Yeah, Yanix with a great landing there out of that quarter pipe jump. Getting quite close to Heave as well. Still though, Heave having a lead, and with not a lot of spaces to really overtake, it's going to come down to the balance beam once again. Skander quite a ways ahead. Heave actually got a lot of distance there on Yanix, and because of it as well, a lot more comfortable jumping into the finish. So -4 this time around. Yanix taking the 7-point hit on Artis because of that mistake on the bridge. -10. I mean, 2 rounds, 10 points lost. Still doing a fine job, but Skander taking the lead, 96 points. Second and first place so far. Good stuff.
Yep. Is going to be very solid from Skander. We expected nothing less to start things off here, and one more round on Castle of Histo, one more first place for Skander would set him up very nicely going into map 2. We are doing reverse order, Heave with a full crash. Reverse order of the semi-finals, which means that the following map for this is going to be freezing. And based on this round, based on the fact that Heave now appears to be a long way down in 4th place, and how freezing has gone for Heave in the past, this could be a very rough start to the final for Heave.
Yeah, I mean, he's already finding himself in last place in this round, and with the distance built up between him and Artis, I don't think that's gonna be changing anytime soon. So that would put him at 76 points, freezing alongside that. Another 3 rounds. He hasn't been looking too good. Could be another 30 points lost potential. I mean, it's not very unrealistic to say. It's not a very positive thing to say either, but Sometimes things are the way they are. Skandir doing just fine. Yannick's -4, Artis -7, and yeah, he's just too big of a gap. 76 points. It's going to be very scary for him heading into freezing.
Cool. Yeah, that's a quarter of Eve's points gone already, and we're only 3 rounds in. Like I say, this is a pretty brutal rounds format. This is going to be a very tough final, and it only gets harder as we move to freezing. A map that I think has probably caught everyone out at least once today. I know in the other semi-final that we didn't watch here, for example, Artis really did struggle to close things out on this map. Got to finalist here, but then was held off until Castle of Histo for quite a while.
I mean, it perhaps even could go that way, right? If Artis has been struggling in the way he has, perhaps this is what he needs to make sure that whatever pains he would get from this map aren't as big and as harsh as they could have been. But that's just me saying things based on what we've seen in the past. Perhaps Eve will find his way forward and just keeps it together for the next 3 rounds. He has the potential to make it happen once he gets past the quarter pipe jump. Let's see if he's able to do it. As Yannick's, oh no, it was Skandir in fact, falling quite a ways behind, and he barely made it on top, but had to slow down. So 3rd place for now.
Oh dear. Full crash. Skandir having some struggles as well. So semi-final 1 coming out on top in freezing. It's Yannick and Artis looking pretty clean with it at the moment. A small touch from Yannick has allowed Artis to pick up a decent gap up in 1st place. And Skandir potentially going to be losing the full -10 on this round. Would be a bit disastrous. Would really drag him back towards the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's you can just see how fast things can go bad with just a slight mistake at the start, especially on freezing. Artis doesn't even go for the finish right there. I guess he was feeling comfortable enough knowing that Yannick was far enough behind, but he's apparently making a mistake somewhere along the way. I haven't seen it where, but Skandir -7 instead of -10, and this is Eve's worst nightmare happening right now. First -10 on the board, could be another 2. Very scary stuff. 24-point loss out of a potential 30 for Heave on map 1. This is now 34 points lost out of a possible 40. Heave is having a rough time of it here to start our final off. Yeah, just really feeling the pace being set a bit higher as well, where during quarters and semis he was able to contest the other players while accepting Skandir in front, but this time around there is no such thing. Both Artis and Yannick are looking to play, looking to win, who at the moment are still quite close to Skandir, who has 1st place. Eve is finding himself falling behind quite a bit more, once again in 4th, once again just having to look from behind, but could take advantage of any mistake happening if the players at front do allow that.
Dear. That's a crash though from Heave. He's going to lose a lot of speed. Should still be able to get to the finish, but maybe forced to take the safe route on this jump. Meanwhile, Yannick's gaining a little bit on Artis. It's very close to the finish line. No mistakes allowed. Everyone will need the risky finish here. Artis did manage to clip it. Holds on to 2nd place. Skandir picks up another 1st and begins to work on reopening that gap down to Artis.
Yeah. Skandir staying on those 89 points. It's he's looking a lot more comfortable now. I suppose just that 1st round being a bit of a fluke, whereas now he has the pace, he has that consistency that has been showing off all day, just shining through. Everybody going for that inside line into the triangle checkpoint, hitting the reactor boost.
Oh dear!
But Heave going too low, crashes out. -30 points just like that. I mean, it's not over just yet, but
it kind
it's
of
heartbreaking.
Is. You're right. Yeah, I don't think it's unfair to call the -30 there for Heave. So that's going to end up being -54 points. It looks like for Heave across 2 maps, and really needs to find a very strong performance. I believe we'll be going to Throne next, which has the possibility to be a much better map for Heave. Definitely had some pace on it. Or no, it'll be Gymnasium next, possibly? I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
Throne, yeah.
It'll be Throne, in which case, Heave has the possibility to catch back up. Let's see. Artis does make it through the line. Yannick takes 2nd. Skandir picks up 3rd, and there you go. Heave does need to make it still to the finish. We don't really expect it to come into play, but a DNF does count for -12, so technically, I suppose it's not that Heave has lost 54 out of a possible 60 points. It's that Heave has lost 54 out of a possible 72 or 70, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
not really.
It
has been a rough start.
Full.
It's been a rough start for Heave. Look, there is a chance here though, Boney. Like, Heave has shown very good pace at times on Throne.
Yeah, and I think where he decided during the semifinals to not go for that outside line that he has been showing off in the quarterfinals, he's gonna have to go for it now. He's already setting up some practice. You can see how much lower he goes when going for that line, deciding to skip both of the platforms there as well, to make sure he can get as much speed built up in the start as possible. It was able to shoot him up to 4th place in the map rankings, so who knows, perhaps it'll be enough for him to stop this point loss from happening.
No, though, Heave going for that safer line, choosing not to take the risk. The only player to risk was Scandir a little bit, and it has led to a lead. Heave, meanwhile, will drop back into 4th place. This time around, just driving. No big errors just yet. Just slightly suboptimal lines have allowed Artis and Yannick to creep away from Heave, and Scandir will get into the lead. There is a first mistake, though. It's Artis with a full clip on the way through that checkpoint. Heave, things look a little bit better all of a sudden.
Yeah, Heave, I mean, -10 versus -7. I mean, it's not the biggest difference in the world, but when you're on 46 points, you know, it may as well be a lifeline reached out to you. And overtaking Yannick now as well. He needs to keep it together right up until the final turn. Does have second place. Managed to get a much less airtime over Yannick there. And -4 points. Great recovery from Heave there. Skandir, again, though, 1st place, will make sure he stays in 82 points. But Artis losing a lot there. Up to the funny number, 69.
Skandir is looking incredibly healthy at the moment in terms of that point total. And now, this stage of the match really is the time to try and build up that gap. Once we're down to 3 players and ultimately 2 as well, the point loss, even for winning the round, will start to kick in. I think it's -3, -6, -9 when we're down 3, but I'll double check once we actually get there. And so getting your round wins in now, keeping the 0 points, keeping your point total as healthy as possible, that's the goal ultimately for Skandir in this stage of the match, and doing a wonderful job of it so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way the map is going so far. It does look like even Skandir, right, the winners from the second half of the bracket, looking to be dominant on this one, whereas Artis and Yannick are very much struggling to really get their wheels across. I mean, Skandir unfortunately did clip there, allowing Artis to overtake, but Yannick is too far away to really keep Skandir from really falling into the 4th place. Eve, though, went for the line, and it's been paying off in dividends. Look at that, a 56.2, keeping the 42 points, the answer to life and everything else in check. I'm gonna throw in so many references to numbers you wouldn't believe. No, I think that's it.
Something artistent? Is that anything? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
What a huge performance so far. We said Heave maybe needed to turn it around here on Throne. Has done so. -4 points across the first 2 rounds on Throne. At this point on Freezing, he was down 20, right? Has now caught back up to Yannick, is within 8. Artis, meanwhile, slipping down. Skandir has also kind of dropped down from that massive 82 point total, is approaching kind of mortal, is with the rest of the pack a little bit on this one. Now, a round win for Skandir still means that he leaves Throne looking very comfortable here, and Heave, if he does end up in 4th place, it does actually not look as good as maybe it could have, but Heave has moved up into 3rd and is even gaining a little bit on Yannick, at least was until that wheel clipped a little bit.
Yeah, he had a bit of an awkward start right there, so already with a half-second deficit to kick things off, but his recovery, his second half of Throne is just looking a lot better. Let's see if once again he's able to overtake Yannick with a lower jump on this quarter pipe. Goes quite low, a bit lower in fact, and yes, he does get the overtake right there. Skandir will have 1st place, but Yannick's going to have to risk it a bit, but there is simply too much distance built up. Great attack from Heave, managing to reduce the point loss again from a potential -10 because of a bad start to a -4.
Yeah, I mean, Heave, incredible map, -8 only. I believe the best performance of anyone on that map. managing to claw back up the leaderboard a little bit. This is an excellent comeback. Is still sitting in 4th place, but now only within 5 points of Yannick. Scandir, still kind of out of sight a little bit. Gymnasium, I expect that to maybe continue. I could see 0 points lost for Scandir on this map, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's shown to be phenomenal today on this track, as he was when the track came out. It's I don't know, it's just a joy to watch him drive in general. And at the same time, 20-point difference between him and Artis is
yeah.
I mean, that's nothing to scoff about, right? Considering there is point loss potential each and every round for him to have a 20-point gap at this point in time. Yeah, it's great stuff, and it's very much a question for, on Heave's side to stay and make sure to reduce as many, this point loss as much as possible. Also, seeing if either Artis or Yannick will be able to catch some points away from Scandir, make him lose.
I do want to just remind anyone who has not seen this format before, reverse cup mode is what we're playing. The players are trying to stay away from 0 points, but once they do drop to 0 points, that is not immediately it. They are not immediately out. You do have to come 4th or last, if there's only 3 players left, in a round before you lose. It is the opposite of cup mode, that's why we call it reverse cup mode. And so even though we do have Heave a little ways behind the others at the moment, even if he is the first to drop to 0 points, it's not over. The comeback is still possible.
Yeah, and he's doing that right here, right now, going for first place with a 46.7. Just everyone eating his dust right there.
That's great.
Staying in 38, Scandir with the -4, and it's Artis and Yannick taking the heavy blows. And in fact, Heave with that, no longer in last place. Yannick's dropping down to 36. It's all of a sudden looking a lot more treacherous for Yannick now. He was looking a lot better at these first couple of maps, but now all of a sudden really falling down into the rankings.
And Heave, that was a PB on this map as well for Heave on that one. Driving really well. Less so maybe this round, managing to keep it out of the wall, saving it. Heave has really started to turn it on in this match, but Heave and Scandir drop a long way behind Artis and Yannick. Good speed through this engine off. It's Heave with the best speed, and it is a crash from Artis as well. All the way back. Was that Heave responding too? Where's everyone gone? Scandir's in first. What's going on out there?
These are the words that I can express based on how good it was looking for Artis and Yannick, and Scandir was like, "No, I'm good. I'll just keep driving. Hey, look at this first place."
Sure.
I don't know.
Possibly the slowest first place that we are going to see. I mean, sure, it's only 3 rounds on Gymnasium, but I didn't expect a 48-second round winning time at any point with these 4 players. That's what we get, though, and we get players dropping dangerously close to the 30-point mark. Once you're 30 points down, you are essentially just 1 map away. These players, by the end of this round, could well be dropping to last chance mode before we leave our final map.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a comparison with the crash right there from Yannick, that's going to be very punishing. It's like they rolled, like they're playing D&D and they rolled natural 20s. Great stuff. Yeah. Okay, now roll damage, and they rolled once.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I guess that's it.
Of all time. Ooh, that's a crash. Eve, the speed is still there, is still safe. Scandir holds first. This time around a decent battle, but Scandir is winning it and winning it handily against Artis at the moment, who in fact is losing time to Heave. Great comeback in the match from Heave. Great comeback in the round, and Heave will win that race to the line, picking up another 2nd place. And now 1 point behind Artis as well, as Yannick will drop to 22, and Heave, the comeback has been mounted.
It has been set up. It was all a ruse. He's been sandbagging the entire way through.
40 points ahead of anyone.
Yeah, I don't even want to mention that. 71 points. What are you talking about? We are at the final map of the map pool. We'll be rotating back after this. He's on 71 points.
That's so
what do you mean you lost 29 points over 12 rounds?
Oh, that's truly insane. Look, that's been Scandir all season 3 and all day long as well here in the finals, in the finale. Scandir has been putting on a monstrous performance, showing why he is considered one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, at the style that is mini RPG. And it's just coming out to play here in the finals. God, I think we are just playing for second place already, but what a fight that is at the moment. There are 6 points separating Artis, Heave, and Yannex. It is all to play for. €30 for whoever comes fourth. It goes all the way up then to €110 for second place. So even though the gaps are little, the prize will jump up pretty significantly once players start dropping out.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's in that sense very much the Skandir show, as you mentioned, right? Skandir being the best at the style. I mean, this is just a confirmation, right?
Yeah.
If anybody was questioning it, was doubting it, here you go. You're welcome. You know, we made sure we tabulated all the results, made sure we put in all the variables, and you know, guess what? It's Skandir. And this round, it does look like he isn't looking to drop down lower than 70, as Yannex has set up an attack, but just not enough. It's gonna have to settle for -4. So with that, we have Yannex and Artis tied on 18 points. Heave in second place because of that.
No.
It's ridiculous to see, but it is reality.
The comeback is very much on for Heave. Players are now only a couple of rounds away from last chance mode. Someone will drop to last chance before we leave Red Forest. That is my guarantee to you, the viewing audience. But I don't think we're going to be able to eliminate anyone. We don't have the time before we rotate back to the start of the map pack. Gonna be tough.
Look at that.
Skandir is so quick. Now, this map, I think, is a chance for Yannex to stabilize a little bit. Really was contesting Skandir on it during the final week of Mini RPG of the Week, but this round for Yannex is not looking great, and with only 3 rounds per map, even one dodgy round really can just break your fate a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a mix of, you know, the consistency that we asked of the players during rounds, alongside the riskiness that is required to perform in cup mode, and Skandir doing exactly that. Goes for it and gets the snipe, getting Artis's first place just out of there by 200ths of a second.
Oh my
it's
God.
just, I mean, he's saying, "No, I'm good. I'll stay in 71 points, guys. What are you talking about? This is it."
This is Skandir. How are you still on 71 points? It's disgusting. It's actually filthy. I feel bad for everyone else in this match because Skandir just refuses to ever lose a round at the moment. It is truly, truly incredible stuff, but we have to focus on this other battle. There is now 4 points separating Artis, Yannex, and Heave. It could not be closer at the bottom. If Heave comes forth in this round, we have someone on last chance mode, but I don't think he's going to come forth in this round.
No, I mean, Artis is starting to fall behind quite a bit. Yannex very close to the wall right there, but manages to barely keep his sides away from it. Has Heave in front of him, so, I mean, this is quite a big point difference, actually, that could occur. Heave, in fact, now overtaking Skandir could potentially stop him from getting another no-point differential. No, never mind. What am I talking about?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Oh my God,
time loop has
look
been
at
activated.
those points. Oh, it's Yannex on 1, Heave on 6, and Artis on 7. What? Yannex is guaranteed last chance next round unless he can manage to beat Skandir here. There's a possibility on Castle of Histo that that Yannex does manage to stay out of last chance a little while longer. Meanwhile, if either of Artis or Heave come 3rd or 4th, they will drop to last chance, but for both of them, 2nd or 1st is enough to give them another round away from last chance and out of danger. But this is it. We are very much in the zone where people are about to start dropping like flies. I just want to see, can Skandir do it in 3 rounds at some point? Can he back to back to back just wipe out all 3 of his opponents?
I mean, if anybody could do it, it's definitely him. It's been first place after first place after first place for these last couple of rounds. Where on Castle, he did look, you know, like, I think this is the map where he lost the most points, if not freezing. So I suppose, you know, map choice wise, this could be a situation in which any of the 3 players currently in single digits could potentially mount an attack. Even then, it's...
Only if Yannick comes second and Scandir comes first, we just move immediately to triple last chance. It's just done. Like,
no.
I mean, that's the possibility. That's where we are in this match. It's so dumb. I can't believe it. That's where we're at. And honestly, it doesn't look out of the realm of possibility in this round.
No, it definitely does not. I mean, Scandir, look at him, just being in first place, everybody making it across the bridge. But Artis, he needs to stay in second place, then he'd be okay. Then he'd be fine, right? He can see 2 players in last chance. Starting to get away from Yannick and Heave, so, you know, 3 points instead of 0 points is a lot better. But an awkward landing could spell disaster as Yannick tries to go for it. But no. It was close, but no.
It was close. Double last chance. All right, Yannick and Heave will both drop to last chance. If either of them ends up in 4th place in this round, that's it. They're done. Their race is run. They will finish in 4th place. The only way to survive is to put Scandir or Artis in that position instead. Artis is now nearly guaranteed to be on last chance as well. If Scandir wins this round again, which, yeah, I mean, look, decent goddamn odds of it, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this start as well, I mean, it may appear like, oh, you know, he was in 3rd place, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's Scandir, you know, he'll get the bug slide down, and look at him being in 1st place. Yannick does get a bit more speed jumping off of the wall right there, but I'm not sure if it will be enough. Artis with a mistake, so with that last chance is secured for him. Not the red letters you're looking for in this situation. Usually it's a good thing. Reverse cup mode, it's a bad thing.
Yeah. We're going to have triple last chance, and Scandir is somehow still going to be on 71 points. What an absurd performance. No, Heave might manage to overtake Scandir. Can Scandir be made to bleed, is the question. No, he's going to win the round. No, he's going to win the round. Absolutely in 1st place, comfortably so, up the final hill. And Scandir will win, what, the 9th round in a row, still on 71 points. While the rest of this slap fight goes on underneath him, we have triple last chance.
And at this point, yeah, it's I'd be surprised if we didn't see players drop like flies. Scandir is just looking untouchable. Even in rounds where players are getting quite close to him, he somehow manages to find the room, the space that he needs to keep his points at 71. It's all about last place. If you're in last place, you're done. It's over.
No
Scandir,
way.
bit of an awkward jump. I mean, the bug slide could make everything work well. Here he goes, sets it up. Still in 4th place.
There's no way that we get a 2nd round of triple last chance. That this is the round that Scandir suddenly somehow comes 4th place. He has overtaken Artis. It is Artis currently at risk of a full crash. Surely that's all.
Heave as well,
Heave crashed as well. Disaster for Heave, as now all of a sudden it's Artis and Heave fighting for last place, fighting to stay alive. That's the battle that matters, is the battle at the back at the moment between Artis and Heave, and it is Heave who has managed to cruise on. He's 5 seconds clear and will stay on board with Heave just to make sure that Heave can escort this to the line. It's now an 11-second gap, and you have to imagine that it's done. Scandir might lose a round. My God, I never thought I'd see the day, but Heave has done it, and unfortunately for Artis, Artis will drop out in what was an incredibly closely fought grand final in 4th place, the first victim of triple last chance.
Yeah, he was simply unable to get the drift down in the lower regions of the castle going up the bridge. Just kept crashing, and yeah, PC froze. If that is the case, that is quite unfortunate indeed. Because if not for that, I mean, Heave also made a mistake going up the bridge right there. It could have easily been Heave losing out, but I mean, we're on freezing now. I'm kind of saying it right
like
now. He's not going to make it.
Second, yeah. But look, it's 1 round on freezing, right? Like, sure, overall, Heave has not had a great time on this map. But that's not to say that Heave has not had good rounds at all on freezing, or that Yannick has not had the occasional bad round. And when you're in this position where it comes down to potentially a single round, about a minute of driving, anything could definitely happen here. It is very much anyone's game.
Definitely so, but I mean, it's not looking too good in the warm-up right now. First missing the reactor, second time jumping on top of the checkpoint. I mean, I hope he can clean these mistakes up right here, right now, because otherwise it's going to be lights out very quickly for Heave. Skander at the same time, though, finally losing some points. 67 points left to him. I mean, everything to play for still, right? As we make our way for the corkscrew, going our way up. Yannick barely makes it up, but falls quite a ways behind. Heave in position to secure a second place spot in the finals at least, as Yannick is behind by 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, this is looking good for Heave, but there are still places where mistakes could be made on this map. Needs to just keep the head and keep it clean all the way to the finish line. Skandir is not the race right now. Doesn't matter if you let him get into first place. Sure, he just loses a couple of points instead of a few more, but Heave is just looking to stay ahead of Yannick, and it looks like Heave may have done enough. Just needs to get to the finish line. The safe fin will be enough. Heave completes a massive comeback against Yannick, against Artis, and locks in at least a second place.
Oh, look at, I mean, and Heave was looking so vulnerable, in such a bad spot after the first couple of mats in this match. But, yeah, just, I mean, the comeback was there, right? The comeback has been set up by Heave, and yes, Skander is too far away, all right? We all know this.
He only needs to win, like, I think it's 11 rounds in a row against him here.
Oh, God.
Very doable. Very doable.
It's in the realm of possibilities. I'm not sure if we're living in that realm, but
I don't think we are.
There's one out there. There's one out there. But for now, it's a long road. I mean, this is no hill. This is no mountain. This is practically walking around the planet, if not that. Heave does have the lead, but I mean, we know Skander can allow it. He has plenty of space. He could say, like, you know what, freezing is yours. Yeah. Fine. In fact, you know, I'll throw in throne, just because. You better get your act straight when we get to the gymnasium, right?
Would we would nearly cycle back to freezing again by the time Heave caught Skander, if he managed to do that. Like, that's, just for context, how well Skander has played this final, how far ahead he has been, how many rounds Skander won. I mean, just a truly incredible performance from Skander, who will just win on this round because he misses the risky finish, falls off that beam. GG's to Skander, who finishes on 61 points, over half the points remaining, and will be the mini RPG of the week season 3 finale grand champion, taking home a cash prize of €175.
And I mean, fully deserved as well. He's been looking like he's been playing like the champ from the first round of the matches today, right? Where today, yeah, I mean, I guess yesterday it was just a little bit of, you know, just chilling, just relaxing, a little bit of sandbagging, if you will. But overall, I don't think it would have mattered where in the lead, where at the start of the day he ended up, right? Whichever match it would have been. He was just playing the game that he is used to playing, the lives that he's used to driving, everything paying off in dividends, and overall being rewarded for the fact that he is such a phenomenal mini RPG player. Fully deserved first place.
Yeah. I do see that the spreadsheet does say Skander came third. No.
Last.
Skander did win. Don't worry about it, guys. Skander won. It is going to be Heave, who, full credit to Heave, what a comeback in that match, and really clutched up under the pressure as well in those final 2 rounds to beat out Artis, first of all, on Castle of Histo, and then Yannick on freezing as well. An absolutely wonderful performance from him, and funnily enough, we watched 3 matches here today, Boney, and in all 3 of our matches, Skander won and Heave came second.
Yeah, I mean, it's I suppose sometimes history simply repeats itself, even if it's merely an hour ago. But yeah, I mean, I think Skander doing what we expected, but Heave very much able to impress. Eventually, putting Yannick and Artis behind himself, getting into this triple last chance situation as well. And yeah, it's what we already said at the start, right? I think when it came to second, third, and fourth, it was a toss-up. It was very much a toss-up. Whoever it was going to be, the most sure we were was Skandir, and what we saw pretty much confirmed
we were correct.
Exactly that.
He was so long on 71 points. Absolutely crazy.
Just
And that's
couldn't
going
let
to do
go.
it. That is going to wrap things up for our weekend. What a weekend of competition it has been. An absolutely stacked top 32, led to a stacked top 16, led to a stacked top 8, led to an even more stacked top 4, and every step of the way, Skandir proved dominant, except in the top 32, where Skandir just kind of cruised to a position where he knew he was safely through, and then proved absolutely dominant here on the final day. GG's to all our competitors, especially the top 4, all our finalists walking away with at least €30. Congratulations to them. If you have any interest in Mini RPG of the Week, if this looked like fun, keep an eye out. Join the RPG and Trial Discord server. There's a link in chat that you can get from Nightbot, where Season 4 of Mini RPG of the Week will be being announced in just a little while. And of course, keep an eye out for the Mini RPG of the Week Ultimate news as we head to Compiègne, just outside Paris, for our LAN in April of next year. I've been Nualaik, that's been Boney. Thank you very much for joining us this weekend, and we will see you back here sometime for some more Mini RPG of the Week action.
All right.